Hey, what's up everyone? So we have an awesome video coming up for you today. We're going to start off with some hip exercises. I got a comment recently about some good hip exercises for quarterbacks, so we're going to go into that, and then we're going to also do some workouts focusing primarily on getting a little bit more explosion, but also doing some of the same hip range of motions that should be able to correlate with what we did to really be able to warm up. So we're going to hop into that right now. All right, so first thing's gonna be the hip boxes. Probably my favorite exercise overall for, just gaining better hip range of motion. I'm gonna start off in a 90-90 position, and the big thing is this hip is in really a massive amount of internal rotation, right? So it's turning over. This hip is in external rotation, and then I gotta use the strength within my hips to be able to get me to the other side. So really when I'm doing this, I'm locking my feet into place, and I'm just moving from one side to the other. Okay, when I do it, I can actually add a little bit more range, especially in the internal rotation here, by lifting up that back foot. So I'm pressing down that knee and I'm lifting up that foot, and that'll just add a little bit more range of motion into the movement pattern. And then, to be able to progress it, you could also grab a kettlebell or a dumbbell and be able to do the same thing, add in that foot lift, and really improve your ability to turn over those hips. And really, so if you're a right-handed quarterback, you want to be able to do this really well on this right side to help your hips get all the way through, so it helps you in being able to push off that back leg and then also absorb onto that front hip. So it's a great thing to do on a daily basis, really, just to make it so you have plenty of range of motion in the hips, because that's a big thing that impacts how well you're able to shift on that front leg. It's how well you're actually able to, or the range of motion that you have in the body to do so. All right, so this one's gonna be really opening up the groin, right? So we're gonna be shifting back. I have my toes in line, or my feet in line here with my knee. And then from here, I'm just gonna shift my weight back, and I'm gonna lift up one foot. I'm gonna shift my weight back, and I'm lift up one foot. Still working internal rotation. So I'm big on making sure I have plenty of ability to internally rotate my hip, because that's really the big thing that we need to be able to create power when we're throwing. And I'm also stretching out my groin. That ends up being a big thing as well, just having a plenty of range of motion in the hips as you're creating that rotation to be able to move really well and smoothly. All right, so this one's just gonna be for really getting better range of motion within the lower back. And so what I'm gonna be doing is just coming up and across here, right? And this is gonna be a great way to be able to open up and get good hip extension within obviously my back hip, and then also be able to get good range of motion in my lower back and good disassociation in my body. So as I'm bringing my right leg all the way up and across here, I'm really trying to keep this right shoulder as closed off as I can. So you can see my hips opening up here to help me getting that disassociation. A lot of times you have people, you can see for me, a little bit more stiff in their back from one side to the other, and that really ends up limiting their ability to create that good hip and shoulder disassociation when they're throwing. So for this one, what we're gonna do here is first shift forward, create good extension, kind of open up that lower core, lower abs, make it so we can stay nice and tall. And then from here, I'm gonna shift back, and as I shift back, I'm just gonna come up and across again, being able to work on that hip and shoulder disassociation. So I'm really locking in with my hands. I'm like pushing down through my thumbs, and then really reaching back with my opposite foot to make it so I can get better range of motion in that hip and being able to open up that hip the best that I can. I'm gonna quickly interrupt this video just to say if you like the information, go ahead and click that thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and we're gonna hop right back in the video. All right, so the big thing with this is I'm gonna be in a 90-90 position. It's kind of similar to the same setup as the hip box. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna turn, and I don't really need to have, I just need to get both hands to about where my hip is. I could kind of stack if I want to there. That's kind of the original exercise. You're almost like supposed to stack the arms. I don't always do that. Big thing is just being able to rotate all the way so my chest is facing the same way that my thigh is, okay? And then from here, I'm just going to straighten out that leg, right? Get that knee all the way extended. You're gonna start feeling it immediately when you do that. And then from here, keeping that chest facing forward, you're gonna bend over to the side, and you're gonna feel that stretch through your low back into your outside hamstring, pigeon or piriformis, where you end up having the sciatica, All right, so another one's gonna be the pigeon stretch, right? And that's gonna be one that I see a lot of times being done incorrectly. And so what you wanna do here is you wanna make sure to get this foot even with your knee. You don't wanna end up, kind of being like this. I see people that do this a lot, and that really makes it so it almost becomes more of like a quad stretch on your knee than it is an actual piriformis stretch. So then from here, really what the goal is to be able to sit back the best you can and keep your chest up, right? You don't really want to come down here too much. You really want to be able to keep that chest up to be able to sit back into the hip the best that you can. All right, that actually ends up being like a hip flexor stretch as well. All right, so this one's gonna be like a figure 4 stretch, which is like where you just go here and like pull the knee. I'm sure there's like a lot of people that are pretty familiar with this one. Again, that's gonna be similar to that pigeon stretch that we just did, and it's a good stretch, but I think the pigeon stretch is a little bit better. What I'm gonna do here though is I'm gonna actually kind of make it, and so it's a bit of a external rotation stretch on my left leg, and then also a hamstring stretch on my right. I'm gonna do that by pulling here on my right leg. So I'm really trying to keep that leg straight, and then I'm also with my elbow kind of pushing down here the best that I can. All right, so one of the main things I've been doing here since we went and did the sprinting competition is really working on being able to be quick and being able to get and vertical when I'm jumping over these hurdles here. So, that's really the name of the game here. Land, get right back over, land, get right back over. I recently messed up my back, and when I did, my hamstring range of motion immediately went down significantly. So I know having these strong is important and being able to perform at a high level. When I'm doing this, I'm really trying to push my hips forward the whole time. I'm almost trying to extend my back, because the other way, a little bit more hip flexion, running a little bit more stuck like this, hip flexors are naturally going to get more involved, basically no matter how you do it. Here I'm really trying to make it so my hip flexors aren't involved at all as I'm coming back up. All right, these, really trying to make it so it's as fast of a knee drive as possible. When I'm landing, I want to land on the front part of my foot, make it so I can, as quickly as I can, get right back off my foot, drive my leg up as soon as I can. Here we go. Again, if you like the information, go ahead and click that thumbs up down below. That helps us out a ton. Subscribe to the channel. And if you want to get more information about how you can become a better quarterback, go ahead and check the description down below. We have a few different videos that will be able to help you in understanding some of the mechanics, some of the footwork, some of the dropbacks, the best release, some things like that to be able to really help you out as a quarterback overall. And if you're interested in getting a breakdown, you can check that out below as well. With the breakdown, what you're going to do is just send in video of yourself throwing. I'll go and break it down to be able to show you what are some of the key parts within your mechanics that can improve. We give you drills, we give you exercises. I've been doing this for a few years now. I've been able to see some massive improvements in quarterbacks mechanics just by sending in video, doing it all virtually, hopping on Zooms, being able to do the breakdowns, everything to be able to make it so you're able to improve significantly within your throwing mechanics and just get a better understanding for what it is that you need to work on, whether it's your release time, your wrist position, your load, your transition. We're going to go deep into the mechanics and how you can make changes within your body to make it so you can make the greatest overall change as a quarterback. So check that in the description down below. Thanks for watching. We'll talk to you soon.